Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and yesterday we spoke about a possible kind of mini rework that we'll see, or hopefully see, for Kislev whenever the Kislev Shadows of Change rework 3.0 comes out, as they are getting an update and they're going to be individualized DLC, which I think is a really good thing. So they said Kislev is going to get something and then Tzeentch and Cathay will get something smaller. I did the dedicated video to Kislev. I want to do one for Tzeentch. Cathay, honestly, I think are in a pretty good spot. They just need new DLC like the Monkey King and stuff. But I feel like Tzeentch could get a few changes which are relatively small but could affect the game in a rather large sense. So let's have a little bit of a conversation about that. So let's start talking about the Legendary Lords first. I don't imagine that the Changeling is going to get massive fundamental changes. What I would love to see, and I think a few people would agree with this, if you started a Changeling campaign, you should be able to pick the theatre of war. Maybe from the very beginning of your campaign, it will give you a pop-up and say, do you want to stay in the Empire? Go to Grand Cathay? There's a bunch of different theatres. I think it would be incredibly nice if they had the option of just being teleported somewhere else. The great thing about the Changeling is he doesn't really have an Empire, so you could be anywhere, really. I'll be honest with you, I rather this character was just a Empire builder, but really, they put a lot of work into this. I don't imagine them getting rid of that. And to be honest, they shouldn't. When it comes to Kairos, this is where I'm a little bit concerned. You see, in Thrones of Decay, Kugath did get a little update. You know, he gets those super plagues up and about. However, in Omens of Destruction, Skarbrand got nothing, and it's a little sad, I think. It would have been really nice to get something for Skarbrand. There's something that could be done to make things a little bit more unique for Kairos, though, and that's pretty much just kind of copy-pasting his unique faction skill line, you know, where he can pick up spells from other different lores, and give that to his spellcasters. So these would be skill points only available to the lords in his faction. You know, it makes sense. Kairos is one of the best spellcasters in Warhammer Fantasy, so having his mortal and demon lords being able to kind of do that around, or if they're going to be kind of like, oh, let's make this special, maybe just the Lords of Change being able to have access to that. So you can have them getting some spells from one of the different color lores. It won't really change your campaign fundamentally, but the idea here is just a little bit of fun. Same thing with Kugath. Everything is still vanilla for Kugath, the only thing is he's got super plagues, so something like this could work. Before we carry on with any changes, there is something that we do need to talk about, the elephant in the room. There's only 2 playable Legendary Lords for Tzeentch. We kind of got shafted there when Shadows of Change became a thing because we missed out on a free Legendary Lord, using the excuse of Legendary Heroes, I believe, was the thing, even though, I mean, Omens and Thrones of Decay had more, but okay. Everyone wants a character like Egram Van Horseman. I doubt we're going to get him in a random patch unless Creative Assembly have extra budget, because creating Legendary Lords is likely the most expensive part about DLCs and FLCs, as you have to do the start pod stuff, faction effects, lord effects, a unique mechanic, or something at least kind of close to it, alongside getting someone to voice the character, because there's a lot more voice lines in a Legendary Lord than there is for anything else. That being said, we are on the 25-year anniversary of Total War, so it could be they might do a character for free, who knows, or we could see something down the line. The fact that Tzeentch might get some sort of rework, same thing with Kislev and Cathay, I think that we're not going to see any more DLC for Tzeentch. Well, there's really no other units that they could do, barring just like characters here and there, but a DLC just of characters would be kind of boring. One thing for certain is that we do need to see a 3rd Legendary Lord for Tzeentch. Every monogod faction should have at least 3. Nurgle's likely to have 4, but that's a thing for a speculation another day. Now for the rest of this video, I guess we're going to be focusing mostly on Kairos until a potential 3rd Legendary Lord arrives, and I really hope that the next Lord, if we do get another one for Tzeentch, isn't like the Changeling. We need more vanilla style ones with their own mechanics. But let's start off here. Sorcerers, right? Sorcerer heroes. It makes no sense for the Sorcerer faction to have to wait until Tier 3 for the demons or Tier 4 for the mortals. These should be much lower down. That's the only issue I have with the buildings. I imagine they'll probably do the same thing that they did with Omens of Destruction, which is separate mortals and demons into their own specific chains, which I kind of like, but for the love of God, like seriously. Mortal and standard demon spellcasters should be at least tier 2. You might say that's a bit overpowered, but the idea here is, it's a spellcaster faction, that's mostly what they have. It's not like having just spellcasters alone is going to make the AI dominate. There's never been a point where the AI is too difficult to beat unless they're using like absolute unbreakable doom stacks and stuff, Let's be kind of honest here, right? Like, Kairos needs all the help he can get, because at the start of his campaign, even if it's just the AI, you're dealing with Techless and you're going to be dealing with Oxyotl. It's mostly a DP session between a lizard and an elf. You need the extra help. The tech tree could also be changed around a bit. I know it's been something that a lot of people are expecting, but like, it's pretty ugly, right? It's pretty ugly. The scrolling system, nobody likes scroll bars. It could be a bit bigger. If they separate it into 2 sections, they could easily add some more tech and really give a push to Tzeentch. Because I feel like there's stuff there, like income from raiding. Who the hell cares about that, right? There's a few of them that just make no sense. I'd argue that there'd be one for warfare, because you'd want to buff up your troops naturally, and then the other one would be both magic and administration, because more magic bonuses would be great. Faction-wide bonuses would be kind of cool here. You can already get stuff for like cooldowns for your spells and so on, but maybe even some more, a little bit more of a push to getting your spellcasters being a bit better. The main thing is fix the eyesores. They've been doing that with patches, and it's great. It's absolutely awesome. The more it's done, the better it works out for everyone. A small change to the changing of the ways would be nice. There are stuff which really, I don't know, man, they exist for just the sake of it. Forced Rebellion, Tracking Army, those just don't work. Forcing War, Open the Gates, all that type of stuff is fine. Actually, I'd argue that Open the Gates isn't really worth it either, considering that most of the times you're going to have a siege monster anyway. Just changing some stuff around. I don't know exactly what they could change them with, but it would be really nice if making this a little bit more useful, giving people a reason to use Changing of the Ways. I've seen streams, because I watch a lot of streamers whilst I'm just like painting models and stuff. It's very much the case that people just ignore this mechanic or flat out forget that it's there, and I really don't blame them. I think that's pretty much it. You see, Tzeentch is in a pretty good spot. Sure, Kairos is, his campaign's a little bit rough, but that's just because you're sandwiched between 2 rather fast, strong, growing characters. But they don't need a massive update. I don't think that they need a massive rework. Tzeentch is in a pretty good spot. I've seen some people saying, oh no, they need this, they need that. I think Shadows of Change did improve the quality of life, despite the fact that that DLC wasn't great. For Tzeentch, being able to get the Zangors early on, right? Those are a very good unit. The fact that you can get them at tier 2 is wonderful. You've got a lot of really fun monsters to play around with. The main thing here is just being able to get a few quality of life issues and be done with it. Before anything, one thing, if anyone from Creative Assembly is listening, please, for the love of God, don't cheap out and just give us Sophorial as a legendary lord in place of VIKRAM. I would like Sophorial. I think that you guys could have a little bit of fun with him, especially since he was a character from Game 1, right? So people are kind of attached to him. Give him, he used to have more of a unique look, right, in terms of tinting and so on. He just looks kind of normal now, but not at the expense of a mortal lord. That's what we need. That's what the other factions have been getting, and it makes it really fun for people. Having a dedicated mortal lord in the monogod roster just is a lot better. So, just future-proofing there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let's have a bit of discussion. I'm a bit late today. I've been super busy. It was the Empire launch day, and I've been just trying to find some extra boxes from my local game stores. Just trying to fill out the rosters. I've got some pretty fun lists planned out, but it's just taking a while to get sorted. See you soon, guys. Have a good one.